Good day, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on novel COVID-19 and food safety, which will be handled by Muhammad Zahid Farooq. Dr. Muhammad Zahid Farooq is working as lecturer in Department of Animal Sciences, College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Jang, Subcampus University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Lahore, Pakistan, since October 2009. He passed DVM from University of Agriculture, Faisalabad in 2009. He has received his MPhil degree in livestock management from University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Lahore in 2015. In his MPhil research, he worked on effect of feeding frequency on the growth performance of lohi lambs during post-weaning period under the supervision of Professor Dr. Mohammad Abdullah. The main aim of research was to investigate the effect of increased feeding frequency on the growth performance, feed consumption, and digestibility in lohi lambs. Dr. Jahid has 6 years working experience as lecturer in Department of Animal Sciences (CVAS), Jang. He has more than 10 popular articles, 9 abstracts published in the proceedings of international conferences, and 4 in conferences held at national level, and 1 research article in impact factor journals. And his areas of interest covers intensive beef production by using growth promoters, exploring fattening potential in small ruminants under intensive production system. And he has the number of articles published by him are being growing day to day, and the number of conferences he's been attending has been also growing. Recently, after the outbreak, he had attended an international conference in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, that just we have discussed about it. And yeah, and currently Jahid Farooq is doing his PhD in Wuhan, China, which actually doesn't require any introduction these days due to the current outbreak. And yes, Dr. Jahid Farooq, please go ahead with your presentation, which is very interesting and it will be very impactful, I guess, because you are from the city, which is the main root cause for the pandemic situation that we are undergoing now. So, yeah, we'll start up with novel COVID-19 and food safety.
Thank you, Pawan, for very detailed and comprehensive introduction about myself. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, today the topic it is the COVID-19, that is novel one, and challenges of food security and food safety uh, in all over the world. I say all over the world. Pawan, can you see my presentation on the main on your
You will
screen?
have to share your screen. Yeah, no, you'll have to
Pawan, could
share
you?
the screen so we can see your presentation. You'll have an option in the bottom where you can see share screen. If you can do
Share
that,
screen.
we can
Okay.
just go through your presentation.
For sure.
Can you see the option in the bottom?
Yes, I
Okay.
I'm clicking the option,
If you
but
click on the option, you'll get an
again,
three different options like the whole desktop or an application. If you click on the application, then you can select your PowerPoint.
and when I'm clicking the option, I'm
Then you can
not
directly share your
looking at
screen,
the
not an issue.
options.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. So, the COVID-19 and challenges of food security and food safety. First of all, I will a little bit introduce about China because it's a very big country. Right now, we are in the Hubei province. This is in the south of China, and about 10 million people they are residing in this province. And It's very big province, and I am living in Wuhan, that is the epicenter of novel COVID-19, and all over the world today it's the burning issue of COVID-19. So if we look towards the Wuhan size, Wuhan is 4 times bigger than Shenzhen. It's 8 times bigger than Hong Kong, and it's also very big than Paris. Wuhan, it has 74 parks, very beautiful city, and people they are very much recreational, and they go outside, they visit most of the places of the Wuhan. I mean, uh, they are not they just sit lonely at their houses or their homes. They move outside and go different areas. If you look at the universities and colleges of Wuhan, 98 universities and colleges they are present in this Hubei province, capital Wuhan, and the most important universities which are present in this city: Huachong University of Science and Technology, Wuhan University, Central China Normal University, Wuhan University of Technology, Huachong Agricultural University of China. People they are very smart, and their the expectancy is very good because they go in gyms, and I have seen everywhere 129 gyms, and they are fully equipped with all type of exercise equipment. And I think Novid, to compete and to fight with the novel COVID-19, gyms are very important. We should make exercise to boost the immunity, and Chinese are already doing this one. Central China transportation, very big city because 98 universities, and about each and every university it has more than 25,000 students. So they have very good and excellent facilities of transportation. I have never ever seen traffic jam uh, in the city. Uh, and excellent sightseeing sites they are also present, where the tourists they go and enjoy, specifically the East Lake. Uh, Many other wetland parks, uh, the people they also enjoy and visit these. So this is the short and very a few introduction about Wuhan city. I've told you. So now the current situation about Pakistan, because now I'm in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, fortunately, we have 1,097 people they have been recovered from this novel COVID-19, and the critical cases they are 44. The casualties they go to. This is little bit not updated. Now it's 120, and the confirmed cases they are about 60,000. And one good news from Pakistan that one of the very good passive immunization technique it has been registered by WHO. That is from Dr. Shamsi, that is the head of the National Institute of Blood Diseases (NIBD) from Karachi, and he has started very first time the treatment of novel COVID-19 virus infected people from the recovered patients, and he used the plasma from those patients and introduced into the very critical and serious patients which have been infected by this novel COVID-19 virus. Pawan, are you listening
I
me?
can hear you very well. No, it's good. It's good.
Very
I can
low?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right now, this is the trend, increasing trend in Pakistan from the government of Pakistan announced in 15th March the lockdown situation in Pakistan. Still, we are in the lockdown situation, and I know that in India also, I think up to 3rd May, the lockdown situation is going on, and you can see that from March 17. to April 12, we and still now we are increasing in the COVID-19 cases. So let's come to towards the research paper that have been published in the New England Journal of Medicine. It's a very brief report, and we can read the the persons which are listening me. They can find out all the details they have been given in this research paper because it was published in December 2019, and it's very brief report. All the things they have been mentioned in this paper in a very comprehensive and in a complete way, and uh, uh, that's why the IF it is about 12, and it has been published in very high impact factor journal. So this is actually the These are the coronaviruses. We know it's a coronavirus family for 14, 16 viruses, enveloped viruses. And I want to mention here that the enveloped viruses, they are very sensitive to the organic material like alcohol. They are very sensitive to them. So if we are going to just wash our hands with any sanitizer, including having the alcohol a little bit, glycerol or hydrogen peroxide, I think we can kill it because it is enveloped virus. The illness likely to have been caused by this. This novel COVID disease that was caused by it, it was given the name NCIP, novel coronavirus infected pneumonia. In the symptoms of this virus, the people they are feeling fever, cough, and shortness of breath. So, as Pavan, we discussed earlier that how they started in December, but it is officially announced in January. So, actually, the people which were infected with this pneumonia, they went to the hospital in the Wuhan City Hospital. It's a very big hospital, but the doctors they find out that the pneumonia it is of unknown cause. Every time they find that the persons which are coming, very few persons, not very a long number of people, just few persons they were infected first, and these were from the uh, wholesale market. They were working in the wholesale market in I will tell you the whole story. So this is December 2019. Several local health facilities reported clusters of patients with pneumonia and of unknown cause that were epidemiologically linked to a seafood and wet animal wholesale market in Wuhan, Hubei province, China. Human airway epithelial cells they were used to isolate a novel coronavirus that was named 2019 and COVID. Uh, so, from the human airway epithelial cells, actually they isolated from the specimens that are taken from those patients which were admitted to the hospital, and they were linked to the wholesale market. If we go to the history, we know that in the history we have already seen two viruses: the MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, and the SARS, that is the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronaviruses. They already in 2005 and 11 in Guangdong province we have already experienced these one, but they were controlled. Unfortunately, this virus it was diagnosed after 1.5 week, and they were used very specialized techniques for identification of this virus. Although they come to know that this is the similarity of this virus, it is with bat 85%, 85 to 95% with the bat. The So SARS-CoV was the casual agent of severe acute respiratory syndrome outbreak 2002 and 3 in Guangdong province, China. And MERS-CoV was the pathogen responsible for severe respiratory disease outbreaks in 2012 in the Middle East. As we know, that was from the camels, zoonotic. Evidence for the presence of this virus includes identification in bronchoalveolar lavage fluid in 3 patients by whole genome sequencing, direct PCR, and culture. So they didn't left any technique for the proper identification of this virus. They have used all the techniques, and right now we have next generation sequencing techniques, third generation sequencing techniques. I will discuss a little bit more about this after one or two slides. We use a combination of Illumina sequencing and nanopore sequencing to characterize the virus genome. So this one nanopore, we know that this is the third generation, and it will not left any single particle uh, mixing with any other one, separation proper, and identification it is right. So we cannot there is no ambiguity, or there is no doubt about the novelty of this virus, how much different it is from SARS-CoV and MERS. And that's why still the world is facing the problem, and until and unless we are not getting the proper solution in the form of vaccination. Next generation sequencing and bioinformatics changing the way we can respond to infectious diseases outbreaks, improving our understanding of disease occurrence and transmission, accelerating the identification of pathogens, and promoting the data sharing. As I discussed earlier, that the proper solution, it is the vaccination. Already uh, every day we are listening different news from the newspaper, from the social media, and from print and electronic media, that the people, they are using different ivermectin, chloroquine, different drugs. And I have told you that Dr. Shamsi from Pakistan, he has also uh, his technique, that is passive immunization technique. It is currently registered in WHO manual, and but all these techniques, all these things, they are temporary. We can use temporarily. They are not the permanent one. So the permanent solution, it is the vaccines. And for vaccines, we know that different type of vaccines, the people, they are using, like killed and attenuated, subunit vaccines, nucleic acid, DNA, and RNA vaccines. But when we are looking towards the development of this vaccine, for to develop the vaccine, we know that the Zika virus, which that comes in 1947, and vaccine licensing and its approval, like we have in Pakistan, like DRAP or FDA, that is the Food uh, Agriculture Department of America. We know that for the approval it takes a long years. So still vaccination licensing, it is opening. Same with the chickenpox, hepatitis B, Ebola, SARS, and MERS. So the vaccination, I think it's the years long solution. It takes years long to get the solution of this devastating and fatal disease. As we know that for research and developmental timelines, there is first of the exploratory stage, and then the preclinical stage usually lasts for 5 to 10 years. Clinical development, a three-phase process that usually lasts for 3 to 8 years. Regulatory approval and manufacturing, and then quality control uh, leads to 8 to 20 years to develop a new vaccine. So for the COVID-19 candidate vaccine, currently China and the United States, they are two main players, and they are working on different type of vaccines. And somehow I have listened and got some opportunity that China has prepared the vaccine, and it's under a preclinical stage. It has been started now, right? Also maybe in Pakistan. So it's a very good that uh, definitely, if we are getting from any developed country or any good country the solution of this disease, a lot of human beings we can save, even from India or Pakistan or any country, on humanitarian basis. So the second topic was that is the affiliated, because I am nutritionist. I am doing my PhD in molecular nutrition. So novel coronavirus and food safety. I want to share with you also about this food safety issues, that how novel COVID-19 it is affecting the foods, or how it can be transmitted. Either it can be transmitted through food or suspected symptoms of respiratory illness should avoid preparing food for other people. Businesses need to follow any social distancing requirement requested by the Australian government. So, from New Zealand and Australian governments and the United States food quality standards, I have followed. Uh, I have taken. I will give you the link also and reference also for this one. So the person who is sick of this, I think he should be quarantined, and he must be isolated. Uh, and right now, we are also practicing all these things: social distancing, use of sanitizer, wearing of mask. All these things they should be practiced uh, to save our lives. So where can I find more information about this one? We can see this link. It's very important food standards link of. We can see that how can uh, we be much safer from this virus by using and consuming these foods, either meat from dairy industry, meat industry, or different industries. Pavan, still law. If anyone has any question, it's you
Yes,
can ask me.
like all participants, if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand then and there, or you can just put your questions in the chatting option so that Dr. Jahid would, answer your questions then and there. If there are any questions, I'll just put forward and those will be addressed accordingly. Yeah, you can just go ahead with
Sure,
your presentation. If there are any questions, we'll discuss. Yeah.
sure. So we can find out all the things regarding food safety and food security by clicking on this link. It's very uh, up to date link, and I'm following the standards of New Zealand and Australia and some US standards, uh, and they have mentioned that there is no transmission from food. Can COVID-19 be transmitted from food? As I said earlier, is not a foodborne disease. There is no evidence that COVID-19 can be transmitted through food, and no reported cases of COVID-19 have been linked to contamination of food. We have seen in different diseases like hepatitis, like in many other diseases, the the contaminated food and the polluted water may be the cause for different type of diseases. But here is not the problem. This virus is not linked with this contaminated food or through transmission of food. Thanks God, we are safe from this point of view. The main risk of transmission is from close contact with infected people, and that's why we're following the rule of social distancing, about 4 to 5 feet from each other. And the best approach is to practice social distancing and to maintain good personal hygiene at all times. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water, and avoid touching your face to reduce your risk. Do I need to wash my fruit and vegetables before use? It's always a good idea to wash fresh fruit and vegetables under running water before eating. Definitely, every one of us uh, need to go to different type of markets, Walmarts, to purchase different type of items for us. Most of the time, the people they bring, and uh, we are not very much careful about washing before eating. So now it's recommended that we should be very much conscious, and we should very much careful while bringing back our vegetables, our fruits back to our home. We should be very much careful. First of all, we should uh, wash our hands, and then wash the fruits and vegetables, and then start to eat. Use of soaps, disinfectants, or detergents to wash your food is not recommended. I have seen in different at different social media and different that no, we need to wash it with some chlorine or some other disinfectants. There is no need. We can follow the link to specify some agents for this one. We simply under the tap water, under the running water, we can wash our foods, and after washing, we can eat. Uh, it's recommended for the human consumption. I think it's okay for the human consumption. And the question is meat? It's the safe.
Um
It is.
Professor Jahid, there
It's
is a
for the.
question. There is a question from an
Sure,
attendee.
sure.
It's the
Yeah, yeah.
question is about how would plasma transfusion can help in COVID-19 treatment.
Sorry. Can you
How
repeat?
would how would plasma transfusion can help in
Yeah,
COVID-19 treatment is the question.
yeah, yeah. I have told you that in Karachi, in Pakistan, we have National Institute of Blood Diseases, and right now there is Dr. Shamsi, and he is extracting the plasma. We know that in blood we have 55% plasma and 45% cells, WBCs, RBCs, platelets, and this one. But plasma, we have the antibodies. So the persons like the infected persons with novel COVID-19, and they have very good immunity. They have developed immunity. Like uh, we know that most of the cases, the children they are infected, or the old persons more than the younger, they are not infected because they have very good immunity. So if the persons are infected with this one and they recovered from this novel COVID, their blood it has already antibody against this virus. So we have very good machinery. Either I have a little bit talk with Dr. Shamsi. I mean, I have also listened his interviews. He said that we are doing right now free of cost the extracting of this plasma, which will be used for the infected patients with COVID-19, but it will cost a lot. It's not but he is doing, he has some machinery. I don't know, he has very well developed lab in Karachi. So first of all, extraction of this one, and then the infusion of this plasma having the antibodies in this novel COVID-19. He said that after 48 hours, the patient who is very in critical situation, he is going to recover. He start to recover from this by using this plasma. Okay.
Yes, the question was addressed.
Thank you. Any other question, Pawan? If you have any
Uh,
question, I can address
yeah,
right now.
definitely. Yeah, right now there are no questions. Yeah, in future if there are any questions, I'll just let you know. You can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, you can interrupt me. You can interrupt me, no problem. So, is
Yeah,
meat
sure.
safe for the vegetarians? Like India, for vegetarians, maybe it's not the problem. What for the meat who are consuming the meat? It's very $100 question. That is meat safe from this COVID-19? So it is suspected COVID-19 may have originated in animals. It is not likely to be transmitted to humans from meat in Australia. WHO recommends cooking meat properly and not eating any meat from diseased animals. It's okay. So if we are going to cook, and I know that in South Asia, in India, Bhutan, Nepal, Maldives, and Sri Lanka, most of the time the cooking is on 100 degree, more than 100 degree. So I think that there is no issue that if we are taking the meat from
Professor
these.
Jahid, there is one more question from attendees.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll put forth the question. Is this virus have any feature of reattack like other viruses like flu? Is these viruses have
Re-
an future of reattack like other viruses like flu?
Pawan, I understand your question is reoccurrence of this virus.
Yes, once the COVID patients have been cured, there are other, and afterwards again they are being reoccurring in the patients. Is there any feature of that kind in this virus? This is the question is all about.
Yes, yes, yes. It can be transmitted again. It's the issue of the immunity. If your immunity is good, you can come back with it. Otherwise, you can infect again and again. It's not it's not like that. That one time you are infected, your immunity, you are now immune from this virus again. You need maybe you are infected again. I think so.
That's a very valid answer because people who are being treated, they are telling that yeah, they are done with the virus and all. So it's not that we can actually the treated person can also get affected, and there are chances of getting attacked again. Oh my God! Then we should be
Okay.
very careful. Then
Yes, yes.
yeah, that's the
We should
question
be
as
very
well.
much careful. Sure. So, about meats safety in Australia, all meat sold is subject to strict control, including requirements that prohibit the use of meat and offal from diseased animals from human consumption. As such, it is unlike that extra precautions need to be taken for meat in Australia. We know that in developed countries, the meat is coming from very safer place. The way they are treating with the animal, the slaughtering, everything, it's very very clean. But maybe in our regions, it's not so much safer for us. We are on the critical point. So my point is that while we are bringing back the meat or the vegetables, all these things, we should cook it properly, we should wash properly, and we can save ourselves from this COVID-19. The next question is there a risk of COVID-19 transmission from food packaging? So it's very important that the surfaces, for the surfaces, this virus can keep itself for 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days for the surfaces. So while we are touching the surfaces, while packaging, if we are going to, wash our hands after all these things, so then there is no problem. It is not yet confirmed how long this virus survives or remains detectable on surfaces, but studies suggest that it may be between a few hours and up to several days, depending on the type of surface, temperature, and humidity of the environment. And very good news I've listened today from the New York Times that they have the United States scientists. They said that the sunlight and the humidity, it will kill the viruses very fastly. So hope so that next in coming days, our environment, it is very much because we are living in the tropical region, so the temperature is very high. So might be we can get rid of from this virus.
Not
So
so
substance they can
exactly.
be
We have some effect of cyclones all over there. We don't want rains now, but unfortunately, there is an effect of cyclone all over the India and other countries. Hopefully,
uh,
we'll have
but
to.
yeah, yeah, but because the next maybe the July and August, they are the rainy seasons.
Yes.
The April, May, and June might be the sunny days and very good sunlight. So the United States scientists, they are I mean, they have said that we can be safe if the temperature is going to increasing day by day and humidity. So we should be hopeful.
Okay. I have one more
We should
question.
be hopeful.
This is a personal question. Being
Sure.
fasted will actually decrease the immunity, or we can stay fast in the days. Is that okay?
Pawan, Pawan, it's very good question, and
Yeah.
I told you that my PhD is also on this topic. I have very
Hmm.
broad topic, and I am doing my PhD research on. If I will get the chance, I will tell you in detail the mTOR, that is the master regulator of our nutrients, and
Okay.
autophagy. Autophagy, it is the self-eating
Then,
process in the body
yeah.
of human being. So in fasting, what happens? Fasting, all the Muslims in India, in Pakistan, all over the world, they are keeping fast, and I give you the reference of one scientist from Japan, Tokyo University. He got the Nobel Prize in 1986 on autophagy, and his name is Yuko Ahoshomi, and you can search on the Wikipedia or different search engines. He said that I have got the treatment of cancer. When the people they asked from him that what's the treatment, he said that the
Stay
treatment
fast.
is yeah, and the treatment is that if person he is fasted for 10 to 12 hours for 20 to 25 days in 1 year, he may be the quantum of the cancer, it will be reduced. So if the quantum of the cancer it is reduced, so through fasting. So I think that but not I'm think I assure you that the fasting it is very much helpful for boosting the immunity, and your body it is actually all the wasting material, all the how can say that the breakdown that is going on in our body it is stabilized when we are going to fast it. When we are
Okay.
overeating, when we are doing a lot of other things, our body it cannot handle all these things at one time. So ubiquitination it's every time it's going on, and the autophagy it's in the bulk. Autophagy, self-eating process, all the
Yes.
garbage from the
Yes.
body it is eaten up by the body. So if all the things which are causing cancer, which are reducing our immunity, it is going to be settled through these processes, through fasting. So we can say that our body it is now ready, it's more immunized against diseases. The diseases cannot affect on our body. So I think, I don't know in India, the people in the Hindu religion there is fasting or not, but in Christianity, in Muslim, all the people in Jews they keep fast. Pavan, you
Even in
got
his,
my point?
yeah, I got your point. And even in Hindus, they fast. Weekly they'll have some days they'll be keeping it for fasting. Actually, I guess
Fasting.
fasting has been come from Hinduism only. I'm not sure about, but yeah, I don't think so. And that's a 100 million answer
Yes.
that you have addressed, because many of the members are having a lot of doubts about
Thank
this
you.
fasting, because like they doesn't concern about the autophagy, what actually was been mentioned by you. People usually think that, yeah, if I don't eat I'll become dull, and if I don't eat, the required nutrients won't be available to my body and my immune system will be collapsed. Yeah, but when it comes to autophagy,
No.
you're right. The dead cells and all storage, over storage material in our body will be gulped up with the autophagy mechanism. And yes,
Exactly.
the most of the waste materials, or the over storage that actually causes to the different diseases, maybe wiped out with the autophagy mechanism. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my research is relevant to this topic, and I can share 100 papers on this way, scientific papers, that
Okay.
how the fasting it is improving our immunity. So we should not be doubtful about this one, that we will be weak, and we will be sluggish, we will be idle. No, actually
And adding to this
it depends
point
on.
also, yeah, adding to, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Adding to this
No, yes.
point, I also can mention that even a healthy person giving a blood transfusion can also increase the immunity.
No, 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 no. It is just with the recovered patients, and the persons which are critical in situation. They will
Uh,
be, because the healthy person who is not infected with the virus. So our body it will take as a foreign agent of this blood, because this blood it has the antibodies against the novel COVID-19. So
yeah.
the healthy person, how it will take this, he is already healthy, and these antibodies they will act as a foreign for that. But it can be vital for persons who are infected with this virus. So food packaging, that's we going on. Pavan, have you got my point?
Yes, yes, I got your point.
Sure. So now comes to the question: is there a risk of COVID-19 transmission food packaging? Food is not known to present any specific risk of transmission, and such there can be sometimes the common household disinfectants like alcohol-based sanitizer on bleach. I have told you that it is the alpha RNA virus, which is very sensitive to organic solutions like alcohol-based. All the sanitizers, they have alcohol, they have glycerol, hydrogen peroxide, so we can easily kill the virus from the surfaces of all the packaging material where this virus can retain from few hours or few days. So now comes towards the general recommendations, because I am a nutritionist, I link to the livestock. Uh, uh, I want to give you the recommendations. They are very much effective for all the uh, persons from all these regions. They are linked with livestock. The first one is comprehensive media campaign. It should be launched at the national level to create awareness and educate the general public that the consumption of milk, meat, chicken, beef, and mutton egg is not only safe but also significantly help in boosting the immune system for combating the imminent coronavirus infections. The second one, to declare livestock and poultry farming as priority sectors and to offer immediate financing for working capital either at soft loans or on special discounted rates. Because all these things, the mutton and they are boosting our immune system, they are coming from this sector, livestock sector, and poultry sector. So if they are not working well, definitely we cannot get on our table these items. I think government should take steps that for banning of these, because in the lockdown situation and the market is very down. So I think they should give government some to defer electricity bills, small and large farmers, and at least for 1 month. The payment should be taken in 3 month installments once the emergency is over. Government should abolish the customs duties, sales tax, and income tax on import of raw materials and machinery equipment required for livestock and poultry industry for at least 3 years. Yes, fourth one, the recommendation by the ensure uninterrupted milk, meat, and egg supply chain in the country. Pavan, are you listening me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. There was an interruption in between.
Yeah, sure. So the I was giving the general recommendations. I don't know that you have heard me, but the recommendations for dairy meat industries: zero rating regime for the dairy sector should be resumed immediately. Tax exemptions, special tax packages should be given to revive livestock farming production systems to safeguard the rights of local farmers and boost local production in this emergency, and immediate ban on import of skimmed powder be implemented. The animal mandis must be open and fully functional to ensure a fully efficient livestock supply chain. Urgent measures should be taken to provide a subsidy on Vanda up to 25% for the next 3 years. The government should engage the processing companies, especially milk powder plants, to buy and process the excessive or unsold milk from farmers to convert it to powder can be used in the future. The required measures related to biosecurity should be extended to ensure the safety of the farm workers as well. There is a need to continue all the veterinary services to livestock farms, including vaccination, disease prevention, diagnostics, treatment, even with more rigor,
Professor
which are
Jahid, your audio is
presently adopted.
very disturbed.
So I have given some Pavan, some
We can hear you very
recommendations at the
with
beginning.
lot of disturbance. You're struck, and your audio is it's creating a lot of disturbance. The voice is breaking in between. We cannot hear you
Uh,
clearly.
the voice is
Make sure that your internet connection is strong. We can hear you, but it's creating a lot of
okay.
disturbance in
Now you can
between.
listen me properly. Disturbance?
Now it's
Why
good.
it's disturbance? My net is
Yeah,
also
now it's
properly
good. Now it's good.
working.
Yes.
It's okay now. So I was giving some recommendation, general recommendations about livestock and poultry sector. Uh, I don't know you listen or
Yeah, yeah.
not.
You can repeat the
The
journal
first
name again.
recommendation it was that a comprehensive sure. A comprehensive media campaign should be launched at the national level to create awareness and educate the general public that the consumption of milk, meat, chicken, beef, and mutton and eggs is not only safe but also significantly help in boosting the immune system for combating the coronavirus infections.
Yeah, yeah.
Pavan,
I
you
can hear
listening
you.
me? So you got my point that there should be a media campaign that these items, food items, they are safe for the human beings, and
Yes, I got the
like
point.
meat,
Got the
milk,
point.
all these things they are safe. The COVID-19 is not. The second point is to declare livestock and poultry farming as priority sector and to offer immediate financing for work capital either as loans or on the special discounted rates. Government abolished the customs duties, sale tax, and income tax on the import of raw materials and machinery equipments required for livestock and poultry industries for at least 3 years. Necessary directions should be passed enforcement agencies to facilitate personnel involved in the logistics of food materials of all kinds on national and local routes, and to ensure uninterrupted milk, meat, and egg supply in the country from villages to urban households. However, the required the standard of equal conservation of orders, poultry, and dairy industry to maintain include. Next, we have the regulations for the dairy and meat industry. Rating regime for the dairy sector should be resumed immediately, and the animal feed it must be open and fully F&B. Animal food like 25% should be discount on Vanda or animal food for 25% so that in this lockdown under economic situation the poor people which are having the livestock they can feed them properly and they can produce milk for the for all other people which are living in cities and other areas, and all the necessary resources to livestock farms, vaccination, disease prevention, diagnostics, and treatment, even with more rigor, they should be going on, which are presently halted. So I recommend that all the processes they should be resumed with SOPs, and all the animals which are still at the farms, they should be treated so that they can provide milk, they can fill all the pig, because these items they are
Professor Jahid, can you just
most important.
mute your video and try speaking so we can avoid the disturbance, I guess. You can just mute your video and speak over so we can avoid disturbance, I guess.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Pavan, are
now
you
it's
listening
clear.
me now? Okay. So what should I do now?
You can just mute your video and then you continue with your speech. I'm sorry. Once you are done with your speech, we can go ahead with your video. Yeah.
Sure. Uh, sure. So I was talking about the general recommendations at the end of the presentation,
Yes.
and I gave the first recommendation that there should be a comprehensive media campaign. It should be launched at the national level to create awareness and educate the general public that the consumption of milk, meat, mutton, beef, eggs is not only safe but also significantly help in boosting the immune system against this COVID-19 virus.
Great. Nice point.
And the second point, because Pavan, told you that I linked with livestock management, with nutrition. So the second point is to declare livestock and poultry farming as priority sector and to offer immediate financing for working capital either as soft loans or on special discounted rates. Because we know that nowadays economic lockdown, if we are giving some loans, soft loans, or these type of things, it will enhance the productivity because they can fed their animals properly and they can run this industry in a good way.
Great.
And the third point, to defer the electricity bills of small and large farmers at least for 1 month. The payments should be taken in 3 months installments once the emergency is over. Government should abolish the custom duty, sales tax, income tax on the import of raw materials, machinery equipments required for livestock and poultry industries for at least 3 years. Necessary direction should be passed on law enforcement agencies to facilitate personnel involved in logistics of food materials for all kinds on national and local routes to ensure the uninterrupted milk, meat, and egg supply chain in the country from villages to urban households. However, the required SOPs, the standard operating procedures, it should be devised to avoid the spread of the disease. And lastly, the equal incentives should be given to all stakeholders, poultry, meat, and dairy industry, to maintain the equilibrium. So these are the general recommendations in the form of 7 points.
Okay.
Then 3 or 4 recommendations for the dairy and meat industry.
Yes. Please go ahead.
The first point is that zero rating regime for the dairy sector should be resumed immediately. Exemptions, special tax packages should be given to revive the livestock farming production systems, to safeguard the rights of local farmers and boost local production in the emergency. An immediate ban on the import of skimmed powder be implemented. The
Okay.
animal mandis from where we purchase the animals, it should be open and fully functional to ensure a fully efficient livestock supply chain.
Okay.
Although we know
Great.
that, although we know that in mandis we cannot keep the social distancing, but this is very important that by using adopting the SOPs, we can use these mandis, and so that the efficient livestock supply chain it should be continued.
Cool.
And urgent measures should be taken to provide a subsidy on Vanda up to 25% for the next 3 years. The government should engage the processing companies, especially milk powder plants, to buy and process the excessive or unsold milk from farmers to convert it to powder which can be used in the future.
Okay.
This is very important point that we can use this because we don't know this problem may still continue up to years, 1 or 2 years, until unless we get not the proper solution in the form of vaccine.
Yes, exactly.
The required measures related to biosecurity should be extended to ensure the safety of frameworks, farmer workers. And there is need to continue all the vaccine services to livestock farms, including vaccination, disease prevention, diagnostics, treatments, and even with more rigor, which are presently halted. So I think that if we are uh, follow these recommendations, they will be more fruitful for the farmers, for our poultry industry, dairy industry, and wheat industry, and ultimately it will enhance the immunity of the people, and they will fight with this virus in an efficient way.
Okay.
This is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay. Professor Jahid, I have a question for you. Is there any possibility to get, importance for stem cells in this treatment or medicine production or either in the cure of COVID-19?
This is very good question, Pavan. That we know that regeneration of stem cells, they
Yes.
are the basic things for the development of all type of immunization techniques, all the immunization techniques. So as I told you that the proper solution it is the vaccine, and I have told you that different type of vaccines they are at this time practicing, like killed vaccines or the live vaccines or the DNA or RNA based vaccines which are on the base of just DNA or RNA based vaccines or subunit vaccines. So all these type of vaccines they are in line. The different players they are working on this side, and all the researchers they are working all over the world in an efficient way that how could we can in very short time prepare this vaccine for whole humanity, because we are under stress, everyone under lockdown. So I think that this is good question from your side, that this could be a very potential source for the vaccination development.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that was a wonderful session. And yes, according to Professor Jahid, he actually states that it takes a lot of time to get a vaccination or preventive or cure for this particular novel COVID-19. So he actually concentrates on growth of the immunity in the adults and also in the human beings. So he actually categorized the foods, and he also abolished some of the foolishness or foolish thoughts of the people who actually thinks that being fasted may actually demolishes the immune system, and also having meat also can cause some disturbance in our health. He clarifies that being fasted actually encourages autophagy in our body, and also taking meat that is properly cooked meat can actually increase the immunity in our body. And he also have given his inputs how we can deal with the food industry in coming days, because the uncertainty may actually grow in the time period. But we should also have we should not we should but we have to take very good importance to our food safety, because if there is no food in the coming time period, then that will be a very drastic phase for our human beings. So he categorized the food categories and what actually have to be done to have uninterrupted food processings and all. So that was a very good input. And yes, according to myself and according to the professor Jahid, people have to concentrate on the different factors of novel COVID-19, so that we can get some result or solution to come out of this pandemic solution. And before concluding this, I would like to introduce Enliven Archive Open Access Journals and also No Publications Open Access Journal to all the participants, and also again to Zahid Farooq. He is actually an editorial board member for Veterinary Journal in No Publications. Yeah, we are very thankful for you being an editorial board member for the Gnome Publications, and we actually want active members like you, and we want to collaborate with you in future in any other format, so that we can address this pandemic solution with mutual concerns.
Sure, sure, Cameron. I assure you that in future we will keep in touch, and
Yes,
whenever you need me, I will be disseminate all type of knowledge which I have from through this platform. And
okay.
I again thank you so much from Pavan Kumar and Vijay for this wonderful seminar webinar on this online session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and also I request you personally to suggest journals to your group members and your researchers, so that we can have more number of submissions, and we can actually get the journal indexed soon.
Sure, sure. Why not? I will also share all these information with in my community, all the members in my community.
Thank you. And if you did not publish your current research, what you have spoken about, we are willing to publish your submission in our journals. So if you are interested, you can send your submission format so that we can go ahead with the future publications with this.
Sure, sure. I will try my level best that to publish with Genome publication because I'm also in with working with this journal and my player to work and to publish the work in this journal.
Yeah. So before we ending this session, I would like to thank Professor Jahid Farooq to take a wonderful topic, that is novel COVID-19 and food safety in this particular current situation, and give us very good inputs, and also share his knowledge with all of us. And I would like to thank all the participants to spare your time and come all the way to attend this webinar on behalf of Gnome Publications and Leave an Archive, and also on behalf of Jahid Farooq. And yes, with the help of our researchers and our editorial board members, will get all the updates required for this COVID-19 then and there, and we will help you out with all the research updates that we can put forth to you. I would like to thank once again Professor Jahid Farooq for conducting this, for delivering your speech in this webinar, and all the participants to attend this webinar. And yeah, in this pandemic situation, everyone please be very careful and take care of yourself by staying at home and following all the rules and regulations that have to be followed. And yeah, we will keep you updated with our researchers, and yeah, thanks a lot, Jahid, for this webinar.